what is that qualification? We have to wait and see. Coming to the next part of it, who other than these three can do a financial valuation? A merchant banker registered with SEBI and who has an employment person. That means a merchant banker will have employees who will be a qualified chartered accountant or a qualified company secretary or a qualified cost accountant having qualification prescribed in A to carry out valuation. So even that individual who is a employee of a merchant banker can give a valuation report. Now coming to the C and D part of it, a member of Institute of Engineers, member of Institute of Architects. These are the two professionals they have roped in to my understanding for the valuation of immovable property, for the valuation of technical assets. This is what I understand. There are variety of assets where I don't believe or I don't concur that an accounting professional or a company secretary or a cost accountant will be a able professional. Maybe an electronic item or a plant and machinery or a particular intellectual property. These are something which it requires some technical knowledge and understanding to do a valuation. Maybe with that background, these are the two professionals they have been included. A person or entity possessing necessary competence and qualification as may be further notified. So they don't want to only confine only to this blue and red. They may also enhance this particular list. Now please make your point very clear to that E. They say minimum 5 years of continuous experience after acquiring membership of this respective institution. Good. So that means 5 years of post membership experience must to be a registered valuer with the institution or the authority or the central government prescribed. We have to wait and see who is that. There are a lot of debate going on, there are a lot of possible confusions are there. Who will be the probable authority for it, or will there be a separate authority that will be promoted by the central government? Good. But there are a lot of representation that is required here. Since just the one session before Vedanta Ramanujam was mentioning, there is a necessity for a strong representation from the three professional bodies that we are the right people to do this. Maybe at least the financial valuation part of it, or we may need a separate body where all the professionals of these institutions have to be part of it by voluntarily becoming a member, and something has to be contemplated on that angle. Well, I will bring your attention to another point. Member of Institute of Engineers, member of Institute of Architects who is in whole time practice. Actually, if you go into their membership criteria, there is no concept called attest function, there is no concept called whole time practice there, and there is no practice certificate which they issue. Then what do you mean by this whole time practice? They have given an explanation for this to be in whole time practice separately. Now look at the A, B and C. Engages himself in the practice of valuation or offers to perform services involving valuation. That means if an engineer or an architect does the activity of valuation, that itself is enough that he is in practice. That is the understanding of the word. So we as chartered accountants or company secretaries, we should not take because we have been governed or guided by a professional body that certificate of practice will be given only for certain purposes. It is not so for these two professionals. So that is for our understanding and consumption. Now I will bring your attention to this blue and red. So the blue is the finance financial valuation part of it, and red is the technical valuation part of it. I only perceive on the asset side a very few items where it requires the technology or the technical or the engineering input of it. The first part is the land and building, the immovable property. Maybe the other assets are where the intellectual property or the technology is involved, or some machineries are involved. Valuing plant and machinery, maybe it's not the a piece of cake for chartered accountant. A chartered accountant will ask for an evidence. Okay, you give me a quote what the third party will buy this particular junk of iron. So that is an area where that requires a little bit of understanding of the industry, understanding of the technology part of it. And I am sure that is where the technical valuation people will come. Now, I will bring your attention to the proviso there. Provided also, A and B shall be financial valuation and C and D will be technical valuation. And a person or a firm or a LLP or a merchant banker possessing both the qualification may act in dual capacity. Very interesting. Now this is where I am bringing your attention to LLP. Now a merchant banker may have two employees. One employee may be a chartered accountant or a company secretary. Another employee will be an engineer or an architect. That means that merchant banker can give valuation report for technical and financial. Clear. Now how about other professionals? Now we have company secretaries, we have chartered accountants. Okay, I am a CA and a company secretary. My chairman is also CA and a company secretary. But how about all the professionals coming together into one fold? Yes, it is possible today. The limited liability partnership paves way for it. But for the purpose of valuation and for doing a professional valuation, if professionals come together, definitely it is a welcome move. Now I want to add 3 points here. Number one, can a chartered accountant, company secretary, a cost accountant, an engineer, an architect, and what is the other person? Actuary. These are the super six. Whether these six can come together and form an LLP? The answer is yes. Present LLP Act allows it. Point number two, whether they can do this multidisciplinary, whether it is a multidisciplinary firm? Yes, because of multiple professionals. Can they engage into the multidisciplinary valuation profession? Because we have chartered accountants, we have company secretaries, we have an engineer, we have an architect. Yes, they can do multidisciplinary valuation. Now, as a firm, LLP, they can get registered. As a firm, they can get registered with the authority or the entity which the government is going to prescribe. Number three, which the question I am sure you will pose is, can that LLP firm, multidisciplinary firm, can also do attestation of what they call it as cost audit or secretarial audit or financial audit? The answer is no. So because that is the present scenario. The present scenario is there is a multidisciplinary attest function firm is not yet been started up, and it can start only if we have a multidisciplinary firm code. Like we have a CA Act separately, a Company Secretary Act separately, a Cost and Works Accountants Act separately. Now if we need to bring all the professionals together and for an attest function, we need a separate guideline or a code for it, which presently is not there. But the valuation, the multidisciplinary valuation firm can come forth. That means if a chartered accountant who wants to specialize only in valuation, a company secretary who wants to specialize only in the valuation and the related part of it, an engineer who wants to specialize in a valuation, they all can come together, form a multidisciplinary valuation firm, get registered, and they can give a valuation report. A complete valuation firm is possible today. and that is how they have made this concept very clear and crystal clear. They have made it. And today youngsters are very much uh, interested in these type of niche areas. Now there are youngsters today who want to start up their practice itself in a very focused and a specialized area. Some people want to be in the financial services. Some youngsters, they want to be in a pure secretarial. Some youngsters, they want to be only in the financial products or the financial engineering side of it. Some youngsters, they want to be only on the tax side of it. Maybe there will be a new breed of youngsters who will be only if they are interested only in valuation, and if their fellow friends, they are engineers, architects, this is a wonderful amalgam of what can happen in future. Now 17.2 rule, sub rule 3, this is the format which they have to apply, and with the prescribed fee in annexure B. And these are all the sections where they have so far identified where registered valuers services are required mandatorily. Maybe one or two I just want to highlight, and I want to take to the main part of the valuation. So far I have come to the structure part of it, and who can come inside, how they can become, and how do you do a valuation is the main part. That is a major work part of it. That is a major activity part of it. Maybe these are the areas identified statutorily, but not restricted. Things can even balloon. They can even extend this concept for more areas also. For example, maybe one is section 62(1)(c). If a further issue of capital is made by a company for other than the existing shareholders and other than the employees, that means if further issue of capital is made to a non-shareholder and to a non-employee, then if the price is other than the par value, just now my chairman was mentioning a 10 rupee share was priced at 420 rupees. Now if that is the case, the valuer has to come with a reasoning, and he has to give a valuation report certifying, yes, it is justified, this value is justified, and they can go for issue of shares to a non-shareholder, to a non-employee at this price. And that's where the focus of registered valuer takes credibility. Now like that, every section, I don't want to go deep into every area, and this is how the credibility of a registered valuer is ascertained in these sections. Now I'll take to the 17.3. I will just highlight. They say if any person who is registered or has made an application for registration as a valuer, I will take you to the 2 red color. Sentenced to a term of imprisonment for any offense. They have not mentioned the term, so it can be any number. It can be a month or 30 days or 6 months. Found guilty of misconduct by the professional body, then he should immediately intimate the particulars, and he will cease to act as a valuer. And what will happen for the ongoing valuation assignment which that particular valuer was undertaking, and that has to be assigned to the another valuer in the panel maintained by the respective authority. So, and will that particular valuer's name will be again restated? Yes, it is possible. The restoration is possible. Now if an order is made for a removal, is that the end of it, or can you go for an appeal? We have the legal course, NCLT is there, and through NCLT the registered valuer, maybe unregistered valuer who is removed, the valuer who is removed from a register of valuers can prefer an appeal. Coming to the core area, actually this particular rule alone will require 1 day, because they have put so much of inputs inside. They have taken from various textbooks, and I think the bureaucrats who have drafted it, the engineer who have drafted it should have read many books. So they have taken from very many books and they have just put it. And they are not very clear whether how a valuation has to be done. Actually, as I put very clearly at the beginning, valuation we cannot just like that say this method is the best. That is why they first start with this particular point. 17.6 para 1 says a registered valuer first